Hey guys, just want to talk to you guys today about some tendon don'ts. So I've had a few patients come in lately with some tendon pain, and it's probably an area that's probably going to grow a little bit throughout the rest of this year with the return of sport. So I just wanted to discuss a few things that you probably shouldn't do when you have a tendon pain. So first thing that I always tell people is that they shouldn't completely rest. This is probably the most common thing I hear a lot of people say when they come in. They go, I had the pain once, I rested it and it got better, and then I tried to go back and it just came back again. It's the opposite of what you should be doing. Tendons are load structures. They require load to be able to produce what they need to do. If you completely rest a tendon for 4 weeks, its load capacity is going to reduce. So you won't have put the aggravating load through the tendon, so it is going to feel better, but your ability to do what you're asking of is actually less. Number 2 is don't stress about your scan. Scans aren't the be-all and end-all with tendon pain. A lot of the research has been done looking at tendon pain has found it really isn't very predictive of pain and isn't a very good prognostic factor either. A lot of people may talk about having a degenerative tendon. Yeah, there will be some presentations where people may have some degenerative portions of tendinopathy, but it isn't significant. This isn't a sign that your tendon is close to rupture or that it's old or that it can't be rehabilitated. What we know so far from the research is that degenerative portion of tendon isn't going to change. It's going to be there for probably the rest of your life. What we sort of know is that the more you've used a tendon, particularly through your teenage years, the more degenerative tendon you're going to have. And it's important to note that's not a bad thing. It's about rehabilitating the rest of the tendon surrounding that degenerative portion. It's about making the normal, healthy tendon work as efficiently and as strongly as possible. Number 3 is get an assessment from your physio. Don't ignore the pain. A physio assessment is probably what you need. I may be a little bit biased here, but I believe we probably have the best skill set to look at a functional assessment. So what can your tendon load, as well as a clinical assessment. I think GPs can be very good from a pain relief and potentially referring for imaging down the line. Otherwise, to me, probably your physio is your first port of call. Number 4, don't worry about rupturing your tendon. It's incredibly unlikely to happen already, let alone the fact that tendon pain is a protective factor. So most people that have had a tendon rupture have never had tendon pain before. So pain is a sign that the tendon is overloaded and you need to take a step back from what you were doing. It doesn't mean that a tendon rupture is likely or that it's on the horizon. And my last and final one is don't take shortcuts. Passive therapies don't work. Yeah, they may work in the short term, but if you're looking at long-term effects like 6 to 12 months, they're not likely to have the results that you're wanting. Exercise, graduated progressions, working through the spectrum of tendon load is really where people need to be working. Massage, foam rollers, trigger point balls, a lot of those sort of things can give you the short-term relief. Some taping techniques can be really useful for improving function and reducing pain in the short term, but it's not a long-term benefit. So if we're going to look at someone like a soccer player or a basketball player with patellar tendinopathy, no amount of strapping is going to give that player the ability to decelerate and to re-accelerate from that position or to jump and land and absorb that load. They need to go through that exercise progression and build that tendon capacity to be able to do what it needs to do on game day. Any questions, shoot me a message or post something in the comments. Otherwise, hope you guys have a good week.